gentlemen, just been enjoying it, man. And Sweat had the shots and fired all around the country.
Yeah,
that
why don't you give us your thoughts on that?
Well, he's not a real talkative guy, so they didn't have to water torture him to get him to speak. That means it was on his mind, and who's surprised? It's just that it's the Bears,
right?
And I can't even joke the Bears because we couldn't beat them. But it was revealing. Now, the question is, how deeply will this be felt? Will we play it off or understand what we already kind of know to be true, but will it help accelerate the process?
I don't know. I mean, I think the process is going to all happen the day after that last game when Ron's in the locker room shaking hands and, saying his goodbyes to people.
But, Doc, and we were kind of talking about this earlier when we were recapping the Monday night games.
Yeah.
I mean, bad teams like Tennessee and the Giants, they're not giving up.
Yeah. You're right.
You know what I mean? They're still going out there. I mean, the Giants have won 3 straight. Now, they're not going to go to the playoffs, even though they're still mathematically alive. But Tennessee just beat, arguably one of the best teams in the league, one of the best offenses, and so they're not giving up. The Giants, they're not giving up. They just beat a playoff team currently.
Yeah.
Right, and we've given up 90 in the last 2 games.
And Washington's given up 90. I mean,
the toddler, Jake Browning, don't forget the Bengals.
And the Bengals, right.
I mean, in the Bengals, so it shows you what happens. There's a vibrance with those teams. We're doing the mortician deal. And so it's very clear. We just keep going over it every week. Every time we're on, we're saying about the same thing. Did get a reprieve last week because we didn't have to throw up in our mouths. But the Dolphins were legit. We know that. The Giants, it reminds me of Heineke, the deal, where, no, not the best arm, but the best heart. He was a magnet. And he got the team to be vibrant. Now, this kid's doing it now with his play. And what we're doing, we're hoping that Howell can survive these 4 weeks.
Yeah, they're going to be tough.
This is like survival for me.
Yeah.
Can he come out of this without brain damage? And if he does, then I think we'll be in a pretty good position.
I think that, and you could speak to this, Doc. JP's not here to defend himself, but we often argue about sort of like personality. And one of my beefs with Ron has been just how sort of dazed and sort of out of it he looks on the sideline. And he's a good man. It's unfair for me to be mean, but I like a little more passion. And then, not everybody's like that, right? You can win with both, I guess. But I do think a team takes on kind of the personality of their coach. And our coach looks like he's pretty laid back and chill, and I think we get that kind of performance. You play with a guy like Joe, who wasn't super demonstrative, but you saw the intensity. When you know what I mean? Like, Joe apparently didn't curse. You could speak to that better than I could.
Yeah, he didn't.
But Joe wasn't like a screamer per se, but I know as a fan, I felt the intensity of Joe on the sideline. Can you speak to like a coach and how his personality can affect the team?
What you saw and what you felt was real, but don't discount the assistants.
Yeah.
I mean, the head coach can be a mortician if he chooses to, but believe me, them coordinators, they got to be like drill sergeant. They got to be on fire. We had Wayne Severe. We had Coach Bugle. You had people that were the complete opposite of Joe.
Right.
And that's the beauty of having a staff. I think we focus way too much on him doing, the gravedigger deal move. It doesn't really matter. Clearly, they're not affected by him. He has no effect on the guys. That's the problem.
Right, but Jack took on that personality. I felt like Jack was a fiery guy, and he looked like a dead man walking this year.
Yeah, but it's, again, the results. Even if they were over there screaming and hollering, if they're not winning, if the Giants are beating you, if you're losing to the Bears at home, you got a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you got a problem. These people are together all week. You got to be engaging with guys. You got to make them learn, make them want to do all the little things, the lifting. None of it's glamorous. None of it's a lot of fun unless it works. And in the moment it works, even though you could be a jackass, everybody says you're a great guy. But if you're a great guy and you don't win, you're a loser. So it's amazing how everybody, you're in got a problem when the first thing out of everybody's mouth is about how nice somebody is who's in last place. That just drives me up the wall. I cannot get it. It's
well, I guess I just feel bad. I've been beating on this guy for 4 years, and I just feel bad. I don't know.
You really haven't been beating on him. You really haven't when you think about it. Not because we've been bad for a long time. It's not like it came in there like we were defending world champions. The problem is we're just sick and tired of being sick and tired and watching other people. I know I am. And then watching, the Titans, that's coach, that's the staff. The Giants.
Right.
We can't beat the Bengals. The Buccaneers beat Atlanta. And the Rams, they didn't win, but you look over there, you don't question whether or not Sean and company have gotten their people's attention. Denver, we mocked them.
Right.
We beat them. And now look at it. Look, we all know the obvious. It's a test. We're trying to get the draft pick deal, and hallelujah, the Giants won. So we at 4. Maybe we might end up at 2 or 3. Who knows?
Yeah. How do you feel about that when you're? I know you like the team. Like Eric, I asked Eric. I said, do you want them to kind of lose out so you definitely have a top 3 or 4 pick?
I can't do it. It's not in me.
So how do you feel about that?
You got to adjust. I had to grow. I have to evolve, man.
I know.
You can be a dinosaur, but I have to lose some pelts. Galdi, me and he, we fought for years. And he's right. I have to submit. If not, I don't want to be where the Wizards are. That's what happens. You got to play the game to get picks, to get better talent. Or you get smoked every night.
Yeah, but see, Doc, I don't know necessarily agree. I feel like it's the easy way. It's the cop-out. You got to scout better. You got to research better.
Well, that's why the new staff.
You got to get better people.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why the new.
We're going to do that.
That's why it's so important for Harris to hire really good people here.
But
the best.
But like
this is going to be a big deal.
The Ravens never bottomed out. Not every organization bottoms out to get to the top.
You pick them. That's like, they are the epitome to me. Facility-wise, philosophy, whole 9 yards. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Let's not pin this on this group as if they're the reason. They was stinky when they got into it. And we've been putting paint over rot for years.
Right.
So you was trying to do a fixer-up. No, you demolition. Demolition.
How long has Harbaugh been at Baltimore?
He's been 15, one of the longest
15
years.
years?
Yeah.
He's been to the playoffs probably 10 times.
They
never
better
off
bottom
trying to figure out when they sucked.
They never bottom out.
Do a better job in trying to think, when's the last time they were rotten?
Yeah, and every 3 or 4 years, we have 3-win seasons. It happens every 3 or 4 years.
It's night and day.
Yeah.
You're going over the record. I hear you guys. It's been highly entertaining. And you're talking about a record. And you can't even – the fact that you have a job and the majority of your records are bad, this shows you it's a bad system. It's a system nobody loses in because everybody's filthy rich.
Yeah.
And if you don't care, the only people that lose are the people that really care.
Right.
When it really matters.
Those of us that are watching at home.
Yeah. It's just painful.
Yeah.
It's painful. And that's why the bye week was such a relief.
Oh, I was watching the Ravens. I was like, man, this is so nice.
Well, let's just see if whoever they hire next is going to be a Sirianni type or a Steichen type. Those young coordinators, the hot coordinators that had immediate impact. Right?
Somebody we don't even know. We have to do that. People are paid to do this, to do it the right way and for the right reasons. You got people whining about a guy who has more wins than most of them will ever have in their lifetime collectively, and then whining because he changed the practice schedule. You're in last place, and you're complaining because a guy is trying to get you out of last place. That's got loser written all over it. The question is anybody going to do anything about it?
Well, we're going to see.
That's the question.
We're going to find out. Hey, Doc, we got to run, bro.
Hey, guys,
Thanks
appreciate
for joining
it,
us.
man. Keep
Thank
balling.
you, Doc.
See you later.
Buddy.
All right.